Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get thousands and thousands of data points into Clay. Now, Clay does an exceptional job already with, I'm pretty sure, over 100 native integrations, but there's still so many different data providers that you can access that aren't natively integrated into Clay. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do in this video. I'm going to show you how to access these outside data points and bring them into Clay. Specifically, I'm going to show you how to get data from outside of Clay, then into Clay, and then from Clay to anywhere else. The beauty of what I'm going to show you in this video is that it's not limited to what is already natively integrated into Clay. You're going to be able to access anything and even do really good hacks like getting around Clay's pro feature requirement to publish to the CRM. Now, this is really, really powerful stuff because you could already do a lot with Clay by itself, but now imagine having all of the data from anywhere all coming to one place. And that's what this video is going to show you how to do. It's how to get data into Clay and how to get data out of Clay. And if you don't know me, my name is David Shimula. I'm the founder of Outbound Partners. We do lead generation, sales automation, and Clay implementations. So without further ado, let's jump into it. And I'm going to show you exactly step by step how to build this workflow. Now, what I have here in front of me is Clay.com's pricing page. So in order to do what I'm going to show you today, you do need to have this package right here, that $314 package, which is called the Explore package. The reason why is because we need to integrate with any HTTP API, and we also need to access webhooks. If you're on this package, just these two features alone are well worth upgrading, especially once you know how to use them. Now, I'm going to show you a secret that most people don't want you to know, but you see this CRM integration feature right here? Well, using HTTP API, you can actually get around this CRM integration. And if you stay to the end of the video, I'm going to show you how. Anyways, okay. So let's jump into it. Before anything, what I want to show you is the workflow that we're going to build. This might not be the exact workflow you want, but this workflow is going to demonstrate precisely how to get data in and how to get data out without like convoluting it and adding a whole bunch of other complexities. Now, this workflow obviously is very basic, but it's not the workflow that you are looking to do. It's the concept of learning how to get data into Clay and get data out of Clay. Because Clay is a very powerful hub, and the key is to have Clay as a step within your workflows. So the workflow that we're going to do is going from Slack to make to Clay, Clay to make to Slack. This is actually going to be divided into two automations, and I'll show you why in a second. What we're going to want to do, so this is like the higher arching workflow. But what we'll really want to do is go from Slack to make and make to Clay. And then we're going to want to go from Clay to make and make to Slack. And I'll explain why in just a moment. So let's jump into the workflows. All right, so now we are inside of make.com, and as you can see, we have two modules here. That is going to represent this step right here, Slack to make to Clay. Okay, so I'm going to show you step by step exactly what to do within each one of these modules. I really want to make sure that you take from this video exactly what you need to do, and you're not leaving this video thinking, oh, I only know this step or that step. I'm going to give you the whole thing, soup to nuts. However, with this one particular module here, because I'd have to show you inside of our Slack account, I'm not going to show you exactly, but I will show you this. What you would do is you would add a module. So for this particular workflow, we want to trigger an event the second we send a message in Slack. So what we did was we created this channel here called temp demo channel. And every time we type a message into this channel, it's going to trigger the workflow. Now, in order to do that so that it responds instantly, you click Slack, you type watch, and you'll see that there's watch public channel. This seems like it could be the right one. Watch private channel seems like it could be the right one, but they're not the right one. You want to use this one down here because this is an instant trigger. So the second you type in the message in Slack, it will trigger the event inside of Make. Now, I'm not going to show you how to configure this one module, but I will give you some pointers. And as I mentioned before, I just don't want to show you the information inside of my Slack channels. Now, when you go to configure this, it's going to have you create a name for the webhook. Any name you want to do is fine. It's going to have you click a workspace. You click the workspace. It's going to have you select the channel. You select the channel. And that's pretty much it. So it's really, really straightforward. After this, what we need to do is we need to post this message into Clay. So I'm going to actually delete this whole thing so you can see it from scratch. All right. So we're going to go here. We're going to type in HTTP. We're going to make a request. And now what we need to do is we need to enter the destination URL, which is the location that we want to send this data to. So we go back into Clay, and we have a new table here. As you can see, there's nothing inside of it. So we're going to do actions. We're going to import. We're going to monitor webhook. And this is actually how we're going to get that URL, that endpoint URL that we're looking for. So now you can see here, Clay gave us a URL, and this, again, it's called an endpoint URL. This is the final destination for where this data is going to be sent to. Okay, so bring that in, and now you can see that the webhook column is here. It's good to go. And let's go back into Make. You put this in here. That's the destination. We're going to post because we want to. So you'll use a lot of these, but oftentimes you're going to be using get or post. In this situation, we want to use post because we're posting the data to this next location. We're not getting data, we're posting it. So we click post. The body type is going to be raw. The content type is going to be JSON. And the way we're going to structure this is you do open bracket, open and close bracket, then you type in the variable, which is going to be called text, colon, and we're going to take the text from here. We're going to close out the quotation mark, and that is it. We're going to put parse. Save. So let's run it once, make sure it works. Wait for new data. Go into here. We're going to type in test data 1. Okay. So we can see here we have test data 1 right there. Boom, beautiful. And now if we go here, we can see that it took the input data and here's the output data. Well, you know what? Let's actually go into Clay, where most important, see if it's come through. So now where you can see this is the table that we were working in where we created the webhook, and here is the data. So now it's come into Clay. We're going to click add column, and that's it. So step one of getting, as you can see, it was really, really quite simple. We got data from Slack into Make into Clay. But you could use this for any data input. It could be a news feed. It could be from some API. It could be from a CRM. It could be from a web application or a mobile application. Anything that really needs this type of Clay data enrichment and manipulation, you can simply get into it using the webhook and HTTP features here. Now, that is step one. We got it from Slack to Make to Clay. Now we need to get it from Clay to Make. And you know what? We're actually I'm not even going to push it back to Slack. The reason why I broke this up into 2 workflows is because of how we like to set up our workflows inside of make.com. And it's really to separate everything by flow. We find that it creates a much smoother system. Let's go back into make. Let's go save the changes here. And we're going to go to Clay to make. So this is going to be a very simple setup here, because now all we need to do is get the information from Clay into make. And similar to what we did before, when we got it from make into Clay, we had to create a webhook on Clay's side. Now we want to do the opposite. So the first time we created a webhook on Clay's side, now that we want to get into make, we need to create the webhook here. So now all we simply need to do is create a webhook. So you click this plus sign, you click webhook, and you'll use custom webhook triggers when webhook receives data, and it's instant, which is what we're looking for. So you click that. We're going to click add. We're going to call it demo Clay to make 1. And that's pretty much it. Here is the webhook link. So we're going to copy address, okay, and then save. Now we take the webhook, we go back into Clay, and this has to be, the way we send it out is through an HTTP, because webhooks catch stuff. HTTP APIs push stuff out, or can call a GET, but that's for another video. So here, let's go to HTTP API, and this is fine. You can leave this. So the method is, we want to post this. We want to push it forward. We're going to post this to the endpoint of this webhook. And now, similar to what we did before, is since this is going to be in JSON format, we need to do the curly brackets. We're going to call it text. And then this is going to be equal to, I just did a backslash, and we're going to make this equal to this column here. But obviously, in theory, there could be dozens or even hundreds of columns. And, obviously all sorts of stuff. And that's it. Then you click save and run. Okay, so now we want to test this to make sure it's working. So what I'm going to do is pull up my Slack right here. We're going to type test data 4, and let's see what happens. And there it is. So if we click this, see test data 4, and ultimately what happened was, you can see it came in, test data 4, and pushed it out. That simple. It's that simple. Anyway, so I don't know if that was an interesting video to you or a boring video to you, maybe a bit on the technical side and less sauce, but knowing how to use webhooks and HTTP APIs is so critical if you really want to advance your Clay skills and really want to get the most out of the software. Clay is so versatile and it can do so much, but one thing it does really good is data processing. So naturally, if you have this data processing layer, you're going to want to be able to automatically feed data into this data processing layer from all over, from your sites, from your forms, from really anywhere. In fact, I know a lot of people who built applications literally using Clay as the back end of their application. So there's a lot of different use cases here where you would want to push data in as opposed to just doing a CSV upload, and reasons why you'd want to push data out as opposed to doing a CSV download and then uploading it somewhere else. The idea here is to have a steady workflow where Clay exists in the middle and just stuff goes in and comes out, goes around, and it goes in, comes out, goes around, and it just works on autopilot. And using webhooks and HTTP APIs, that is how you will be able to do it. Before and earlier in the video, I mentioned a workaround for using the CRMs. So I'll show you again now that you have some more context. In order to use the CRM integrations, you need to have the Pro plan. which starts off at $720 a month. In many cases, this is more Clay and more credits than a person really needs. The way you can simply get around that is using the integrations with webhooks and HTTP APIs, because you can, for example, send this to Make, which I showed you here, but then from here, you can push it into Close or HubSpot or Salesforce or literally anywhere else. Or you can just push it right directly into another HTTP and push it to any one of the non-native integrations with Make. So you can further process it in Make and then push it to anywhere that allows API connections. So I hope this helps. I hope you see how much this opens up within Clay. Just knowing these two features, it opens you up to a world of data that you didn't previously have access to. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. As always, you could just leave me a comment and I will respond. And you could also shoot me an email as well. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.